everybody? It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I'm here in Atlanta on the set of CW's Black Lightning. Now, I got a lot of exclusive, in-depth interviews with a lot of members of the cast, and even some footage you may not have seen up close and personal. So get ready for the ride. This is going to be a fun one, y'all.
No, it's just not much time. So,
how does it feel having a new suit first and foremost?
It's amazing. This suit is, I mean, as you probably can see, it's so much more comfortable. So, I've been in it a lot this season, both here in Vancouver. So, what I've been doing and how much I've been in it couldn't have happened in the old suit. So this is, I don't think I could really sit in the old suit. So
would you say like it was an hour or something putting the old suit on?
Originally it was. We eventually got it down to like about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. This is about 15 minutes, but the old suit was about 60 pounds, and this is, I don't know what it is, but it's not.
Way lighter.
It's way lighter. It moves.
You can move.
There's no restrictions. I can touch my toes and pick things up and all that stuff.
So what was it like to stand on stage with a bunch of other superheroes like on this shirt?
It was first of all, it was awesome. It was just massive. The amount of people, the amount of number ones, the amount of superheroes was just massive, and they handled it well. But then you had these out of body moments when you just kind of, not while you were acting, but in between shots, when you just looked around and everybody's in some sort of costume, and you're like, this is weird, man. Like everybody's in capes and tights, and you're like, wow, this is really bizarre. But all in all, it was great. I mean, they welcomed me with open arms, and I had a blast.
At San Diego Comic-Con, you talked about how, in one word, you described this season as global. But then for the first few episodes, you didn't go anywhere.
I know. I couldn't tell you. I didn't
I know. But now you're out.
Yes.
But the world looks a little bit different.
A lot different, yes, yeah. I mean, global in the sense that we have a foreign power that's, trying to invade, and our government's locked us down, and so it's much more than just corner boys and Tobias trying to just take over the city for his own power. So it is global, and it's going to get more global and bigger and better. Hopefully, all the fans will dig it.
How are you approaching the character of Jeff now that he there's more at stake than just the school or individual students or the green light babies? Like, he's operating as a symbol on a bigger stage, like you're saying. So has that changed the way you're thinking about playing the character at all?
Well, I am changing, but not just necessarily because of that. It's more because of all the things that he's been through. I think he's angrier, and I think he has the right to be. Going from season 1, his school was successful, his daughters were safe, and then you progress to being locked up for, over a month, and then coming out to an occupation, and nobody's safe. So, he's tried to do things the right way and play by the rules, and sees the repercussions of that. So he's angry.
Talk about Jefferson's relationship now with Anissa. Him now having to accept the whole Blackbird thing, and knowing that, like, we saw how the relationship was in episode 3 or 4. Like, it's like, all right, I get it, but how is Jefferson really feeling about it?
He hates it. I mean, let's just be real. Everything that Anissa is doing. You guys have seen the episode. She's got this incredibly fat crib, and you know how it came about. I mean, those are all things that Jefferson can't abide. But what happens, in our show, there's so much going on. There's not a lot of time to stop and reflect, and so he's immediately thrust into this whole occupation and trying to get the lay of the land since he's been gone, and there's just conflict after conflict coming up, and so they work together. He utilizes her, and you just kind of hit the ground running. But if he had time to really sit at a dinner table, there'd be a discussion about all that. So
Bouncing off that really quick,
Yeah.
how does the pushback from Anissa affect his relationship with Jen?
They're still about the same. I mean, Jen is going through, and again, because of the fast and furious of this, I think, Christine had said when we were at Comic-Con about there's not going to be a lot of time around the dinner table, and it's because there's no time. I mean, it's just and everybody's
There's
been...
no dinner table.
There is no dinner table. It's been exploded. No, it's still there. But, everybody's thrust in these different directions that take priority. So, I think Jefferson is at the biggest disadvantage because he's coming out and having to then get acclimated to occupation. You see that Jennifer is like, yeah, this is what's been happening, and this is what's been happening. And he's got to go, wait, what's happening? And then have to kind of deal with it. So I don't think he's really had the time to kind of corral the family and really take stock.
So we're only at episode 4 right now, but can you speak to Jefferson's relationship with Odell as the season progresses? Because, he's got this fancy new suit.
Yes.
But Odell is also manipulating his daughter.
Yes.
So, there's like a lot of layers to Odell and his involvement with the Pierce family. So can you talk about that?
I mean, we all know Odell's a dirty dog, right? And it's funny, I mean, if you were actually over at the stages, you would have had a huge spoiler, so don't go over there. Jefferson always tries to do things the right way, and he's trying to honor this deal. And I think even as we get into episode 4, he doesn't like what's going on with the occupation, but he's not privy to the manipulation that's happening yet. He still thinks that the deal he's made is being honored, and obviously he's going to eventually find out, and it'll be fun.
Staying on Odell for a second.
Yeah.
Bill Duke is really only the latest in a bunch of high-profile black Hollywood elders that Salim and Mara have brought into the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I talked about it was Huggy Bear.
Robert Townsend.
Yeah.
It started with Antonio Fargas,
Yeah.
Robert Townsend.
Yeah.
What has that been like to, these are people you probably watched growing up.
Right.
What's that like to share a stage with them in pursuit of building a heroic legacy metaphor?
I mean, it's really cool because I love I love conversations, first of all, and I'm a bit of an old soul, and from my work ethic to my training, all of it is kind of old school. And so having those guys on set, with Robert, we always talk about theater. With Bill, we're just we're talking about the writing, and Bill loves it, like go off into politics and all sorts of things and stuff. And I just love having them on set and getting to rap with people that I feel like I really connect with from that old school mentality.
Last season, it felt like, Tobias was our big baddie.
Right.
Now, how does Jefferson feel about Tobias now that he sees him all the time?
Oh, I mean, that never goes
Now
away.
that he's seen 2 floors.
I don't think I think if his feelings about Tobias are still exactly the same, even though he's now Tobias is locked up, it's just, again, not having time to breathe. It's like, okay, he's locked up, still hate him, kind of wish he was dead. But I got to deal with all this now, and I got Odell, and I got these soldiers who just locked down my the city, and but if Tobias was in front of him, like, they're not gonna have coffee or anything like that.
Now, when we talked to Christine, one of the things she said is that she doesn't think Freeland will ever really get back to normal after the occupation. That she doesn't think there's a road back. Do you think that Jefferson would disagree with that?
Of course. I mean, not only Jefferson, but Cress disagrees with that. Well, when you say back to normal, right? Back to normal, Freeland was never like this idealistic place. It was always, it was flawed. There was crime. There were, that's why I had to originally put the suit back on in the first place. So if we get back to just that, that's still normal. I'd say we definitely will eventually get back to that. I mean, it's the United States. We can't be occupied forever. or it's just kind of this is like a reference. It's kind of Red Dawn, 24/7. Wolverines. So yeah.
Now that's a gift.
Thank you.
Since let's talk about the crisis. You filmed your stuff out there, and now everything. Once it's all said and done, we've asked every other cast member.
Yeah.
It becomes one Earth.
I know you guys know that.
It's in the comments.
We're yeah. Okay.
It's in the
I
comments.
don't know.
It's one Earth.
Maybe
now.
it does.
It does. What could we expect from the Pierce's life going forward after that?
It's a new normal. I mean, I will say that in our reality, we were the heroes, and although the big infamous heroes were just comic books, and so that's different now, and
Staying on Crisis.
Oh, great! Perfect.
What was your favorite scene to do this season?
Here, period, or just?
Yeah.
I mean, the season's not over yet.
Okay, they're up to episode 4.
That you can share.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. In a weird way, and this is nothing to be said for what we do here, and I honestly, my brain is a bit fried because we're on episode
305.
11. 11 right now, and I just read 12 at lunch, and I got to read 13, and all this stuff. So, what stands out to me, and I think just because it was totally different, was honestly a scene. I can't tell you about anything, but a scene that I did in Vancouver that was a lot of fun. I think partly just, I guess I could say it was with Grant, but it was. So you're working with a new person in a new environment. That just always kind of is. And Grant and I, like, just behind the scenes, really discovered that we have a lot of the same sensibilities when it comes to the work. And they wrote a scene that was really just a good, person-to-person scene. And we had it went by like so fast, but it was really fun to do.
Staying on Crisis. Let's say they do another one next year. This is a complete softball question.
Okay, good, thank you.
But multiversal crossover. One character from Milestone Media gets to manifest in the crossover. Who do you want it to be?
Oh my God.
And there goes the pressure.
I know. I think you said it was a softball.
Yeah.
I just want to be a part of it. I mean, I had such a blast. I just want to really be a part again.
They taught us how to dodge in the fight choreography.
And but no, seriously though. I mean, I think I know I'm not answering your question, but I'm going to give you a more important answer. That I want to be a part of it again, but also I really want the other characters to come play with us. And I know they've talked about everybody was like, we want to come to Atlanta. I'm like, yes, come to Atlanta. So I'm hoping all that stuff happens.
Okay.
Sorry.
So stepping away from Crisis.
Yes.
Sort of.
Thank you.
Yeah. With that notion that Freeland's old normal wasn't all that great anyway.
Yeah.
Is there a way for Freeland to prosper?
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, I maybe I'm just an optimist. I mean, I know that we have to have conflict, obviously, but somewhere we're way down the line when we're doing the final episode, that I hope we have left Freeland better than we found it. I do think like this whole kind of occupation won't last forever, but also that I hope that we've cleaned up the streets, and it's not like perfect. It's not gonna become. You don't have a show if you don't have conflict, so it's gonna take a while. It'll be fun and messy and all that.
Speaking of the conflict, you currently in Freeland are dealing with not only the occupation, but the real life symbolization of similarities. The kids being in cages.
Yes.
How does Jefferson feel about that?
And how does Cress feel?
And how does Cress feel about it?
Jefferson and this is not always the case, but Jefferson and Cress feel exactly the same. Outraged. I mean, that's the thing. Way back when I read the script and I identified with Jefferson as a family man, and a lot of the scenes that have to do with the daughters and the family, like I tap into picturing my own daughter and my family. So I mean, I'm outraged, and I think I think we all wish that we could have powers, and there'd be a lot of hurt people if I had some powers. So I guess there's a reason I don't.
Last question, guys.
Lynn is working a lot.
Yes.
When is that? Is that going to come to a head, and is there going to be a confrontation between the two?
It's gonna come to a head. I don't. I couldn't even spoil it for you because we haven't gotten to the resolution of it yet. But it definitely is going to be a confrontation. Most definitely. It's a fun, juicy scene, huh?
You're not wearing a wedding ring.
No. See, I never wear a ring. I never wear my ring in the suit. I got gloves on. I can't. It doesn't work.
That's the perfect soundbite to end off of.
Right.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Chris.
guys.
We'll be right here.
Thank you.